Now at 5 a.m., WKYT This Morning live on the air, and we are tracking storm damage in central Kentucky. We'll start, though, in eastern Kentucky, where storms caused major damage to a Walmart.
Also, strong winds hit in Lexington. We're live looking at what kind of damage was caused around town.
And today in Lexington, local musicians will rally around a music video producer who's recovering after he was shot during a robbery. That story ahead on WKYT This Morning.
This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning. Welcome to you on this day after the 4th of July. Got to get back into the normal swing of things. I'm Rebecca Smith.
I'm Bill Bryant. It sure is good to have you with us. A lot of cleanup to be done today, and we're going to be taking you around, showing you what all is going on this morning. Our team coverage of the storm damage will begin this morning in northeastern Kentucky, and so we'll have the details on that very shortly.
The National Weather Service is headed to Lawrence County today to survey damage caused by a possible tornado. Let's check in right now with Micah to see what's happening here in town with the weather.
Yeah, and in town we're seeing some showers and thunderstorms out and about. Now, these storms mainly down toward the south and southeast are moving east into an area that we still have a flash flood watch in effect. So you just got to be watching out for that. Buckhorn really getting the brunt of this. Jackson, you won't so much see the brunt of it. It actually moves to the south of you in Breathitt County. And so if you're traveling 15 from Hazard to Jackson in Breathitt County, there's a pretty good sail right there. Good news here is we don't see any severe weather. Next in line will be that area as you travel along 80 all the way into Martin and Allen City through Floyd County, Hindman, those areas. You will be next in line. So going through the day, we'll sit in the 70s early this morning. It is a nasty, humid feel outside. The moisture is there. There's no doubt about that. A few more storms in the forecast. Are we looking at severe weather, though? I'll have that coming up in a few minutes.
WKYT's team coverage now of the storm damage beginning this morning in northeastern Kentucky, where the National Weather Service will be heading to Lawrence County today. They'll be surveying the damage caused by a possible tornado. Check out this damage inside the Walmart store in Louisa. As we'll take a look there, shoppers, employees were sent running for cover as a severe storm moved through the area. It caused significant damage inside the packed store. The good news out of all of this is that no one in Walmart was hurt, although there are reports of 5 people being injured somewhere in Lawrence County during last night's storm. Outside Walmart, strong winds flipped a car, and that was enough to convince some people who were in the store's parking lot to run inside for shelter. Once inside, they were shocked at what they saw.
It's demolished the whole inside. It tore some of the roof off.
Outside, street signs and toppled trees littered the parking lot. Thousands of dollars worth of fireworks were also destroyed. And while the National Weather Service works to figure out what caused the damage, the Walmart in Louisa will likely not be open today. An engineer will have to take a look at the store to make sure it's safe.
Thank you, Bill. This morning we're also tracking some storm damage in Lexington. Most folks here felt some strong winds and saw the result. Also dealing with some downed trees. WKYT's Mark Barber is live for us in Lexington, where he continues our team coverage. Good morning.
Good morning, Rebecca. This is where the worst of the storm damage is here in Lexington along Wolf Run Drive. This is where strong winds toppled several trees and even brought one crashing down onto a home. Now, the man who lives there with his wife and his twins, who are just 6 weeks old, says that it did cause some serious roof damage, but fortunately, they are all okay this morning. Now, the storm hit the neighborhood hard early yesterday afternoon. The winds that knocked over trees in the area also spoiled some 4th of July activities in downtown. Hundreds of people scrambled for cover when driving rains and powerful winds pushed through the city. With the sound of the severe storm still ringing in their ears, people are going to start picking up the damage later this morning.
My senses were completely overtaken by the wind and the rush of the rain and the wind all at once. And then just as soon as it passed, I turned and my wife was running towards me and crying, and because the roof had come down.
And as you can see, there really is still just an incredible amount of storm damage here at this time. There's no word on how long it will take to clean all this up. Live in Lexington, Mark Barber, WKYT.
All right, thank you, Mark. Emergency managers in Rockcastle County tell us some homes and cars were damaged when a severe storm moved through the area. Most of the damage is in the Broadhead area. Folks living there say they'll have a mess to clean up in the coming days. One man tells us winds flipped his car and also wiped out his porch. He says he watched the storm from his kitchen window.
I screamed for my kids and my family, get to the bathroom, and as it come through the living room, all the posts was going one by one.
Emergency management says no one was hurt. 7 homes were damaged. The National Weather Service will be out today to see if a tornado or straight line winds caused the damage.
That storm moved through Lexington right in the middle of the city's 4th of July festival downtown. People there ran for shelter as strong winds, lightning, and heavy rain suddenly blew through. Some of the vendors' tents were flattened by the winds.
Everything was good, and all of a sudden the rain came and changed a lot of things.
We had a big gust of wind, and it just took the tent.
Blew everything down.
Some of the vendors packed up and went home after the storm, but others stayed, and the festival continued, as well as the parade and even the fireworks last night after the storm passed by. Remember, you can track storms when you're away from the TV with the WKYT Weather Plus Traffic app. Download that for free in the App or Google Play stores.
Today in Lexington, local musicians will be rallying around a video music producer after he was shot during a robbery. Police say Coleman Saunders got out of a taxi last week and then was jumped by 3 men. He went to the hospital with critical injuries. WKYT's Mike Byer is live in Lexington now, looking ahead to that event for Saunders. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Bill. I'm at Willie's Locally Known on Southland Drive tonight. A benefit will be held here for a Lexington music producer who was critically injured in a shooting. It all started a few weeks ago. This is when police say Coleman Saunders had just taken a taxi to North Limestone and East 7th Street when he was robbed and then shot by 3 men. Now his friends are rallying around him as he recovers from his serious injuries. From 8 to 10 tonight, Willie's will hold a revival for Saunders. There will be a $15 suggested donation. Christopher Bentley of Sunday Best and friends will provide a night of music and fellowship for their brother. Bentley is hoping all local and regional musicians who know Saunders will come out and join him on stage. Now, as Saunders recovers, Lexington police are still searching for the 3 suspects involved in the shooting. Live in Lexington, Mike Byer, WKYT.
Mike, thank you. And Lexington police are looking for a man who they say stabbed someone during an attempted robbery. That happened on Southview Drive near Southland Drive. Police say the victim was driving and noticed a man on the side of the road next to a car with its flashers on. They say they tried to help the man, and police say the man stabbed the victim in the arm and tried to grab his wallet. We're told the victim got back into his car and drove off. Police do not have a detailed description of the suspect. A man wanted in 2 southern Kentucky counties has been arrested. The Whitley County Sheriff's Office says after receiving a tip, deputies found Kevin Malone at a home on Sutton Mill Road. Deputies say they found him hiding under a bed. Investigators say Malone had a warrant out of Knox County on burglary and violating emergency protective order charges. And they say in Whitley County he was wanted for drug charges.
This morning in Rockcastle County, the fire marshal will investigate after a fireworks show went wrong. Investigators say 4 people were injured at the annual Blast in the Valley show at Renfro Valley. Organizers say one of the fireworks shot off in a tube. That knocked some other fireworks down towards the ground, and those then shot off towards the crowd. People who saw it describe a frightening scene.
It's unfortunate. I mean, it's just a freak thing that happens, and, you know, I guess it happens to other people. It just never happened to us yet.
Investigators say none of the injuries were serious. Organizers say a Tennessee-based company put on the fireworks show.
A Rockcastle County family got quite a surprise when a bear showed up outside of their home. The Smith family says they saw the bear from their window, so they walked outside and decided to take some pictures of it from a safe distance.
I can see it from my kitchen window, and I went to look at it, and I seen that it was, all my trash was everywhere, and I looked up, and there was a bear in my woods eating my trash.
The family says the bear stayed around their home for about a half an hour before it finally went back into the woods. Other people around Mount Vernon also say they saw the bear as well. And bears have also been seen lately in Pulaski, Boyle, Clay, and Whitley counties over the last few weeks. All right, beware of the bears. WKYT This Morning is just getting started. Good to have you along on this Tuesday.
Legoland, California now houses the tallest Lego model in the U.S. We'll take a look at what they built after Micah's forecast.
Still storms in the forecast for today, and you know what? Much more ahead in the next few days. I'm going to show you that and also show you your weekend forecast, because your weekend is the only bright spot in the 7-day. I'll have that coming up next.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
Still have some thunderstorms around, and listen, you're going to hear me say that for the next 3 to 4 days. It just doesn't look good. the next 3 to 4 days. All the way through Friday, a wet pattern in store. Those storms still going on right along 15. It's a very traveled, very busy highway. Probably not this time of year and not this time of morning, but it's a very busy highway from Hazard to Jackson, and very heavy rain as of right now falling across that region. It's moving over toward Hindman and also Pippa Passes. Pippa Passes you'll get on the mix along with Hindman. If you go north of that across US 80, you're still going to get some pretty heavy downpours too. So just keep in mind, Hazard getting in on the mix. That's about to pass you guys, Hazard, and also Buckhorn about to move on out, but you can see back behind you, there's not much in the way of trying to stay dry. I mean, we're really getting some rain on in here, and still some heavy downpours about to roll through Russell Springs at this moment. Another small cell right there over Dunville, and it's rolling eastbound. So in between Eubank, Somerset, that's where you can expect a couple of rumbles of thunder here within the next hour. You look northbound, still looking at bits and pieces of some rain. Nothing really to talk about toward the north. 71 degrees right now in Jackson. It's a nasty feel anywhere you go. Once you step out the door, you will feel that humidity. Roadways are pretty wet, especially southbound. Hal Rogers Parkway is soaked. Highway 15 soaked. 460 down in southeastern Kentucky soaked. Anywhere down south and southeast, 421. It's going to be pretty wet early this morning, and it's bits and pieces as we go through the day. It's about a 40% chance of rain, which is a pretty decent shot at rain, but it's definitely not widespread like we saw yesterday. Now, those storms will be with us. Heavy downpours are a main threat. Can't rule out that heavy downpour, a little bit of lightning, but severe weather is virtually zero. That's one thing we cannot rule out, but it's virtually zero, meaning just expect some rain out of this, beneficial rain to the yards. Once we head throughout the next 3 days, today through Friday, look at the totals showing up. 1 to 2 inches of rain for most, and then some a little bit higher than that. Look at Somerset at 2.5 inches, Monticello coming in at 2.5. And so it just shows you there is some heavy rain on the way. It's going to be bits and pieces. It won't be a line. You're going to have waves here and there like you had yesterday. So just keep in mind that we are going to have some pretty nasty conditions the next few days. Let's talk about your 7-day forecast and what you can expect. As I was discussing just a second ago, yeah, it just doesn't look good. We have 60% chance of rain Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. If you have plans on those days, just know you will have scattered showers and thunderstorms on all 3 of those days. Now, the good news here is Saturday and Sunday, both of those days for all these events going on, look pretty good. It's much drier on Saturday and Sunday. That's really good news for a lot of us because it's going to be pretty ugly as we go throughout the work week, unfortunately.
Oh, well, you know, it happens. It's July, but it does not feel like it, does it?
Yeah, absolutely.
That 4th was something, you know.
It was
really,
pretty wild.
People had
You're
to
right.
plan around it, but in a lot of cases, people got in what they wanted to do, right?
I think my umbrella took a little bit of a beating with all that wind and the parade.
A little Mary Poppins action, right? Yeah. All right, we appreciate you very much, Mike. It's coming up on 5:16 right now.
Well, Legoland, California now houses the tallest Lego model in the United States.
Congratulations, right?
Yes.
The One World Trade Center Tower was unveiled as part of an updated New York Miniland cluster at the San Diego theme park. The real tower is more than 1,700 feet tall. The Lego version's about 26. It took 8 builders more than 1,200 hours and 250,000 Lego pieces to complete the project. It also weighs more than 1,000 pounds. But something to see there.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah. Good to have you along on WKYT this morning as we get rolling here on this Tuesday morning.
We've got to look at your money. Stay with us.
Kentucky mornings start here. You're watching WKYT This Morning.
And good morning and welcome back, and it sure is good to have you with us here on WKYT this morning. Rio is getting a bailout for Olympic security.
And a college degree really may be the key to landing a job. Karina Mitchell explains in Your Money.
U.S. markets reopened today after being closed Monday for the Independence Day holiday. On Friday, the Dow ended the week up 19 points, while the Nasdaq also gained 19. Rio is receiving a federal bailout. Brazil's government has issued a nearly $900 million loan to finance Olympic security in and around Rio. Some of the funds will go towards paying police officers overtime and fueling patrol cars with gasoline. And a college degree really may be the key to landing a job. A new report from the Center on Education and the Workforce at Georgetown University finds that of the 11.6 million jobs created after the 2008 recession, more than 8 million went to those with at least a bachelor's degree. Another 3 million went to those with an associate's degree or some college education. And that's your Money Watch. For more, log on to cbsmoneywatch.com. In New York, I'm Karina Mitchell.
Coming up on 521 now, WKYT This Morning live on the air on your Tuesday with a lot more on the way.
Yeah, and we've also got a look at sports up next.
Tyler Ulis is getting paid like a first-round pick. Several former Wildcats stand out in NBA Summer League, and a UK golfer prepares for the U.S. Open. That's next in sports.
Still another couple of rumbles down toward the south and the southeast. There's a really heavy downpour rolling through northern portions of Perry County, about to make its way into Knott County. If you're sitting in Hyman, heads up. It is heading your direction. Then we got another one coming out of Russell County and also Adair County. So that's moving over toward the east. Somerset, you're going to be next in line if it sticks together. It's just a small cell, but pretty heavy downpours out of that. A couple of rumbles of thunder too. So storms will be around this morning here and there. They kind of hit and miss, and they're going to be hit and miss all day long. A few storms by the afternoon at 84 degrees. It's about a 40% chance of rain. Definitely not as widespread as what we saw yesterday, but it's still there. Heavy downpours will be our main threat for today. No damaging winds expected, and no even isolated tornado threat, not like yesterday. So today is more of just your garden variety thunderstorm rolling through the region. So just keep that in mind. Let's check out sports, see what's going on this morning.
Despite dropping into the second round of the NBA draft, Tyler Ulis is reportedly receiving a first-round contract. According to Paul Cora of the Arizona Republic, the Suns will give Ulis the equivalent of a late first-round picks contract, which would start at about $1 million and have the same 2 guaranteed years with 2 team option years. The Suns could make Ulis their third point guard behind Eric Bledsoe and Brandon Knight. While many of you took the day off work yesterday, several former Kentucky Wildcats were hard at work on the holiday trying to make the jump to the NBA. Yesterday, Aaron Harrison and Dakari Johnson were playing against each other in the Hornets-Thunder Summer League game. Second quarter, Harrison on the receiving end of the lob to give Charlotte the 12-point lead. Then just before the half, Dakari running the floor, finishing with 2 hands. Johnson finished with 12 points. With time winding down to the fourth quarter, Hornets up by 3. Aaron delivers the dagger. The fadeaway jumper is good. Team high 19 points for Aaron and the Hornets 78-74 win. Ben Simmons making his NBA debut in the first game of the Utah Summer League. Sixers taking on the Celtics. Simmons with the easy finish on the run out. He had 10 points, but he would leave the game with cramps. 2-point ball game in the fourth quarter. James Young driving, elevating, and scoring. The former Cat had 8 points, 6 rebounds, and a new hairstyle. Celtics win 102-94. Trey Lyles, by the way, also had a big game for the Utah Jazz. Well, the U.S. Women's Open tees off later this week, and UK's Anna Hack will be one of only 24 amateurs in the field. Hack, who just completed her freshman season at UK, secured one of 2 spots from the St. Louis sectional last month. The Paducah native is the niece of former UK quarterback Billy Jack Haskins. She's looking forward to representing Kentucky.
Well, my uncle played football at UK, so I always wanted to just play for my state because I feel like it means a lot more to me to be able to play for the state that I grew up in.
That tournament gets underway on Thursday, and we certainly wish her the very best. That'll do it for your morning sports. Have a great day.